Podcasting, vivere la città, audioguide e videoguide per visitare la città di Asti.
Unusual Asti. Yes, more curious than ever under all the snow.
Okay, but it's too cold. I heard that isn't been so cold since 1956. Brrr.
I know what we can do. Let's take the navetta.
What's that?
It's a little bus whose service is for people who can move around the city and visit it. You can download the map from our site to see the journey and use this guide. As you can see, it stops at the most significant sites, monuments, culture and spots art, and a little of everything. And it's free.
Okay, you convinced me. Come on, let's have the tour starting from Piazza Alfieri.
Everyone knows that Piazza Alfieri is the heart of the city. It is dedicated to the tragedian of Asti, Vittorio Alfieri. While waiting for the shuttle, why don't we go to the Piazza della Libertà? If you turn around, you can see many different styles, from the roofs of the medieval Church of the Saint, the arcades of the 19th century, the architecture of the fascist regime as the Market Hall and the Palace Littorio, to the rationalism of the Palace of the Province. Piazza Alfieri has a trapezoidal shape and is surrounded by arcades around the perimeter. The two long sides are equal. In the 19th century, the bourgeoisie was walking under the porticos to shelter from rain, snow and cold in the winter, and it was the cool in summer. At the center of the square, you can see the statue of the poet Alfieri. The arcades of the other one side are more modern, of the 60s. Fancy that right here in the 19th century there was the cattle market. Here, we have arrived at the bus stop, right in front of the city's oldest hotel, which also housed Garibaldi in 1867.
But really? Was Garibaldi really here?
Sure, a few years after the enterprise of the Mille, which was crucial for the unification of Italy.
What's beautiful? Shot window.
It's in Art Nouveau, and the pharmacy Alfieri, it was called a chemical laboratory.
Here is the shuttle.
We get on and reach the second stage, the San Pietro site, and one of the most important Roman monuments in northern Italy. It was built by the Order of Military Knights of Malta, in short, the Templars. Look at the eight-pointed cross, it's the emblem of the order. It is located on the outskirts of the city and housed pilgrims and travelers journeying to or from France.
What a magical atmosphere. If I think just outside there's the traffic of downtown.
Well, some decorative elements are just fantastic. Look at the sandstone lintel served. There are two animals that are beating their intertwined tiles, and there is also the symbol of the infinity.
Let's get on our shuttle again and reach the third stop along Corso Alfieri, Via Maestra, that is the ancient Roman Decumanus. Oh yes, because Asti was a town ancient Rome and was called Asta.
Here we are in Piazza Medici, one of the most charming squares of Asti. Admire the elegant Troiana Tower, one of the highest in town, 37 meters and 80 centimeters.
In the square there are also many different styles, aren't there?
Yes, there are the Gothic of the Troiana Tower, the Liberty Monument, which opened in 1908 during the construction of the aqueduct due to the Marquis Hughes Bridge.
What a beautiful building, full of different architectural elements.
It's Palace Taricco, eclectic. Do you know Giuseppe Taricco was a knight and also was one of the leading experts on Piedmont wines? And his brand of fine wines made the name of Asti worldwide known and appreciated.
Curious! Water and wine together in this square.
If you look around, you gather the most curious details such as railings, flag holders, handles, Art Nouveau and the frescoes of the Palazzo Ballario. Look, and if you look well, find the ancient placard of the telegraph.
Now let's go to Piazza Catena.
A relatively modern square dating back to 1934.
How much snow! What a strange sculpture!
Yes, it is very strange. It is the Fontana Versiere, like cabbage fountain.
What? The monument to a cabbage?
Yes, it has been for a long time in the square to the vegetable market of the peasants had been held. Street vendors that were just the farmers who were in town to offer their products. And on Friday the fishermen came. Let's go straight on, Via Carducci.
Stop! What is that perch?
It's the column of sacrifice. We are in corner of the city full of buildings related to religion. The diocese and the seminary. If you look carefully, you can see that the building that we are facing is a former church, the Church of the Misericordia, in fact. The column indicates that it was the place where the instrument used to torture heretics at the time of the Inquisition were burned and purified.
Oh my god. What bad timing.
Look at the headquarters of the Catholic Church. It was fortified house, which is a real weapon of war. You can understand it from the front decorated with bricks ferraioli that are burned during eating, which represent a shield.
So that relief with the angels?
Well, probably yes. Violence. But to protect, let's say, faith.
What about taking the shuttle again? Here it is, it's coming. Come on, let's get on and go to Piazza Cairoli, called the Horse Square, for the Equestrian Monument.
Yes, it is in fact dedicated to King Umberto I.
That's nice here.
We have reached the opposite side of Corso Alfieri. Here we are. Look, that is Palazzo Alfieri, birthplace of the poet. And that tree is his famous plane tree.
The plain of Alfieri?
People say that the old plane tree you are admiring with its crown has offered shade and coolness to Alfieri. Indeed, the tree is younger than the poet.
Let's continue our ride.
This part of the Corso Alfieri is rich in historic buildings. This is Palace Mazzetti, and important exhibitions and events are hosted in the seat of the gallery and in this building. Let's get inside.
But what are those sculptures?
The sculptures and the plaque that you see are the remains of the decorations of the portal of the cattle market, which was located in Piazza Alfieri. Do you remember? I told you before.
Here is another square. It is Piazza Roma. What a beautiful castle.
It's a neo-Gothic building dating back to the early 19th century. The tower that stands high, however, is original, and it is the Tower of San Bernardino or Comentina. It is the highest in town, 38 meters and 55 centimeters, and ends with his beautiful Ghibelline battlements. In the middle of the square, you can see the monument to the Renaissance, which represents the historical events that led to the unification of Italy.
Turn around. Look at the green beautiful area. What a pity that with this now we can't sit there.
It is a Wi-Fi area to surf the internet freely. In summer, it is very popular with young people.
Now let's go down to the Square of the Sand.
Here is the bar. It is still in old wood and carved. It was once a pharmacy. And this is the history gem of pottery, Giordano mirrors, ornaments, paintings, wood. It has kept the colors and scents of the past.
Not to mention the smell. It smells delicious.
Come back, and here we are at the heart of the city, Piazza del Santo, or Piazza San Secondo. Or here, some surprises. Look carefully at the stems of the columns.
But it is a fossil shell.
Yeah, this just proves that once, a long time ago, in Asti there was the sea. Now look at the front of the collegiate and search the intruder. Found?
There it is, the two pinnacles of concrete.
Right, the facade was removed several times over time and this bears witness.
We enter the lobby of the City Hall. Those forms are displayed in plain view for the touchstone after linear measurements of the bricks. The tiles, ropes and silks used in the ASTI market until the late Middle Ages.
On the opposite side of the square there is the Way Liberty, once known as Contrada of the Israelites, for the presence of the Jewish ghetto.
Well, we have seen so many unusual things.
And yes, our Newsolasti's tour ends here. Hopefully this video guide was a good for you to find of interesting, enjoyable aspects of our town.
Com'è bella la città, com'è grande la città, com'è viva la città, com'è allegra la città, piena di strade e di negozi e di vetrine piene di luce, con tanta gente che lavora, con tanta gente